Yo, 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 what's up? This is the Daily Bread Culture. Checking in with you one again. I myself, Adolphus Savage, and of
Yep,
course, got my homeboy with me to the left. Go ahead and introduce
yep.
yourself for the people in episode 4.
They call me, Mr. Ron. My last name is not needed, but you know what you're gonna get?
Wow,
You're
wow.
gonna get this daily bread.
Praise him.
Get it in.
All right, so of course, this is the Daily Bread coming at you with chapter 4. Today, we're going to touch on something.
Chapter 4.
Yeah, chapter 4. Today, what I'm going to touch on is something that's actually really prevalent in the black community, and that is going to be black health. We now, of course, we're not always going to come at you with the more serious things. Of course, we like to talk about a lot of different things, but today there's been a lot of stuff going on. I just wanted to touch base with the audience here and let them know about black health. So I'm going to go ahead and just for starters, pass it over to the Reverend Ron, but he's
Yeah,
not Rev Ron, and let him go ahead and kick it off for us. Preach.
yeah. Thank you, thank you, Deacon. Uh, go ahead and have a seat. All right. Now, one of the things I wanted to kind of go in straight into is, I love the way the fake health is now. You know, you got the fake social media health. You sit back and you watch everybody. You know, it's they're saying that they're getting in shape. They're drinking these crazy ass flat tummy teas, or they might be
Mm-hmm.
getting all these injections or taking these HCG drops. I don't even know if that's cool anymore. They probably got a new name for them, or all these diet pills, and people out here going hard saying that they losing weight the proper way. But the crazy part is in the black community, I know we struggle with health, and it's almost like a bad. It's almost like it's a bad stigma about going to the doctor. That's really wild to me. Like everybody I talk to, ain't going no doctor. No, they ain't gonna do nothing. Tell you something bad. Ain't gonna say something wrong with you. You
You're
can't
right
eat
about
this.
that.
You can't eat that. You can't do this. But next thing you know, we getting hospitalized. You getting carted off in the ambulance. You having a good time. Next thing you know, you're passing out, or yeah, that might be your last breath. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we got the high cholesterol kicking, high blood pressure kicking, diabetes, and I keep hearing about heart health. And shit. Another thing that we don't like to do is go to the dentist, which they say that kind of has a lot to do with your heart too. Definitely. But that's a whole nother subject for another day. And so it's just kind of crazy when I sit back and think about all these different health issues going on. Definitely in the black community that we got all these different stigmas about.
Yeah, and I
I,
definitely understand that. I'm going to go ahead and just interject right here and just drop a quick gem for everybody. I remember the first time that my father found out that he was diabetic. And this speaks on your first point about not going to the doctor. So, luckily for my dad, he had went to the doctor because he needed an excuse as to why he wasn't at work. So he just randomly went to the doctor, and they had tested his blood sugar. And now I can't quote the exact amount, but I know his reading was over 500. I mean, which is once you get in that range, you're looking at the possibility of being in a diabetic coma. And essentially, he was just walking around here. Who knows how long he had diabetes, how badly his body was beaten up by it. Only he would know, because, of course, back when this happened, they didn't have, excuse excuse me, they didn't have the same capabilities as we have now and the same technology that we have now to where I could just get on a computer and WebMD it up, and I could just be my own advocate, my own doctor. So that's just a simple point that I wanted to touch on that you made us aware of just not going to the doctor. Like, it's really silly. I mean, I understand that during these times with Trump care and all that, it's kind of hard to especially if you just don't have health care. It's kind of hard to see paying all that money, or even if you do have insurance, paying higher co-pays or just whatever, but really you need to do it because another thing with blood pressure, they call blood pressure the silent killer. You could be running around here, 120 pounds, 115 pounds, pretty good shape, have high blood pressure, and just one day walk outside and die because you never knew it. And it literally destroys all of your organs, right down to your heart. I just wanted to point those things out really quick. I'm going to go ahead and pass the rock back over.
All right, I think you kicked it back over to me, and I'll say another thing. I know you mentioned briefly about going to the doctor. Now, I will say this. I actually am a person who struggles about wanting to go to the doctor, but actually, whenever I finally do work up the courage to go to the damn doctor, it's like it takes forever to get a goddamn appointment. Like, I think of the last time I tried to go, it was a couple months back. I was having issues. I want to say I was having issues with. I found out that I had anxiety attacks, and so they said it was related to stress. So I thought I was walking around. I had diabetes and stuff. Now I went to an actual ER because I didn't know what the hell was going on. But then they told me I need to go see my regular doctor. When I went to go see my regular doctor about some I was actually prescribed prescriptions from the ER and everything. Then when I tried to go actually see a my physical, your regular doctor,
Mm-hmm.
man, they were trying to schedule me an appointment like 3 weeks later. I'm like, dog, I'm fucked up right now. Like, why are you trying to make me wait so long and to sit down and talk with my doctor about it? You go to make an appointment and it seems like it takes forever. You pay all this money for insurance, and it's like, damn. I know you can't be backlogged that bad the way you can't see somebody if they had some type of emergency or something that feels like it's life changing. That also kind of deters me from wanting to go to the doctor just from the fact that I feel like I get to run around and it's just setting a random appointment to go, maybe a month or two later when it's on my mind like right now. That's the crazy part to me.
Mm. I definitely agree with you with that. I mean, I know for me, just to pivot off of what you're saying, with the scheduling and setting appointments, that was a main concern because I just moved away from my hometown. That was a major concern to me. Was a couple of times I needed to kind of go see the doctor, needed an excuse, and it does suck that you have to basically you have to almost it's like searching for some freaking high end steak restaurant almost. Like you have to search and then you have to make sure that they're accepting new patients. If they're not, sometimes there's going to be longer hold times. So for me, what I ended up doing, and I mean, of course, if that's something that people can do or not do, but what I ended up doing was I actually went to the urgent care center. And when I did that, I mean, I basically was able to go to an urgent care and see and meet with a doctor. And then ultimately, that urgent care, they double back as a primary care too. So the thing that I like about it is I do have a doctor that does reside there. And he goes through a couple of different centers, and I can still go there and get seen, and the notes go back to him. So that's something. I mean, it was thinking a little outside of the box, but that actually works for me because if my doctor's unavailable that week, I can still go today, tomorrow, whenever, and the notes will just get back to him, and he'll get back to me. The PA on staff or the nurse on staff will go ahead and subscribe me based off of the working knowledge of what I have got going on. And because it is open 7 days a week, I really rarely have to go to the emergency room. I just go straight in there. Like I remember, it was a time where I was dehydrated and they didn't know it. I had like some just different illnesses going on, and I think I had an infection. And instead of going to get my fluid from the ER, they closed the door up, stuck an IV to me, and got my fluids, and prescribed me right there, and I went on home. So that's another way to think of it. If you guys can find an urgent care that doubles as a primary care, that would be a good way to go too, because that way you have your doctor and you're being able to be seen Another thing I would like to say, I know just from me speaking, when it comes to your health and doctors, there is a reliable resource, WebMD, out there. There are a lot of YouTube doctors. There's doctor shows. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Us as Black people, us as people in general, we should really take advantage of some of these things. Like, I know yourself, Ron, due to our talks, you put me on a Dr. Africa who he had a lot of intelligent things to say about health in the African American community, and I was able to take that, and I actually think about some of that stuff all the time. Like, of course, not making your body a graveyard for animals, different things like that, knowing what Native Africans actually eat, and then kind of just adjusting from there. So, once again, another thing, use the internet to your advantage to figure out different things that you can do to make yourself better.
Yeah, and kind of to piggyback on that, kind of like with Dr. Africa, he wasn't really big on it, but like juicing, eating fruits and vegetables, really kind of giving your body a break from all the shit that we put into it. Because when you sit back and think about it, you think about the food pyramid. That food pyramid is really all wrong. Even if you're gonna eat stuff like bread, milk, cheese, and all these other little different things, and all the meats and everything that's on the food pyramid. If you notice, the vegetables is the very smallest part of the food pyramid, and really that food pyramid should be flipped upside down.
Mm-hmm.
We should be eating very little of the bread, cheeses, and the milks and the meats, and expanding more on the fruits and the vegetables. And the thing is, I think that we really we don't even know more about putting all the acidic things in our body or alkaline, and to kind of give our body that charge, because we got electricity in our body, and stuff like Dr. Africa, Dr. Sabi, they kind of helped me out. We both went through the whole juicing. We did juicing for quite a while, and we both did really good with it. Our health was superb. I know when I visited the doctor briefly, I always go to different ones because it's a pain in the ass to get into a doctor's office for some reason. But
Mm-hmm.
everything, all my vitals looked good because I was juicing. I didn't tell them that I was juicing because, of course, they would hate on it because it's kind of like it's not a Western way of going about healing your body. And then I looked into Eastern medicine more. I went to holistic cares. I got what's the damn thing called where you get the little needles put in your body. I actually did that acupuncture.
Acupuncture, yeah.
I did acupuncture before, and I actually did it because I had an abscess tooth that was abscessed for quite a while. And really, it grew to the point where my face was swelling, my head was hurting, and one of my eyes was kind of starting to hurt a lot. And I actually went to go see. Shout out to Miss Rosemary. She did holistic care. It was a Black lady. I had to support her. Unfortunately, she's no longer in business, but she took care of me. We did the one session of acupuncture because I could not get into a dentist at the time. They wouldn't see me without insurance. So
Mm-hmm.
a jam. This is a route you might be able to take. She gave me some acupuncture, and also she gave me some antibiotics that were natural. So it wasn't really drugs. It was just herbal remedies. That's the proper way of going about it because she didn't want to lose her licenses. And it actually worked. Hell, I was in bad shape. I could have probably died.
Dang.
It actually healed the abscess, and that actually held me over for 3 months because I had just started working where I currently work. It held me over for like 90 days, and it actually got me through till I was able to go to the dentist. Tooth pulled, so now I got a big ass hole in my mouth because of. But I was able to get my health straight and also survive it. And so just throwing that out there to people, man, like with this health thing, we all take a little we try to take shortcuts. We try to take the microwave approach about a lot of things, like with losing weight. I laugh a lot because we got the whole Black China thing going on right now. Everybody talking about how Rob put it out there that he paid for her surgery, promoting the flat tummy teas, and I'm pretty sure she might have promoted those waist trainers too. And it's funny, man, that it's no real way of getting around it. The best thing I ever found out that was just doing the vegan diet for a while. Not saying I ever go vegan for the rest of my life. Maybe I might. I should. But it's different ways of healing yourself without,
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself further in the ground if you really want to just feel better. That was the best I ever felt in my life. I felt like a young teenager again, man. And also vegan diet is the reason why I got two sons now. Just to throw that out there.
Well, hey, praise them.
So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and that was one thing that I looked at was a vegan diet, a vegetarian diet. But please elaborate a little bit more on that for me. Elaborate a little bit more for the vegan listeners.
uh, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to hear. I think we had a little bit of technical difficulties there for a second.
Okay, I was talking about the vegan lifestyle. Like what prompted you to change, and what type of things did you eat?
What was the most things that I ate? I ate well really I just purely stuck to like eating I really stuck to juicing. I made a lot of juices and all my juices were mostly kale based or beets based, but also of course who would like beets straight up and down or kale? That's nasty, tasting stuff. So I was juicing a lot of kale with like pineapples or lime and lemon. Kale is alkaline. Everything that's dark green is really good. The chloroform, you need it for your body. And then also the alkaline is also real positive for your body. And aside from that, if I wanted to eat something, I ate a lot of steamed vegetables, drank a lot of water, and I ate a lot of fruit, like whole pieces of fruit, um, green apples, occasional pineapples, grapes, watermelon, melons. I like fruits anyway, so that didn't bother me to have it. And I'm not a person that eat nuts. Pause. Period. So I don't like nuts at all. But it was just a lot of fruits and vegetables that I ate, and then mostly fruits during the day because that was easy to kind of eat. But like vegetables, of course, over time when you juice, if you do have trouble eating vegetables, after a while your body does kind of accept it a lot better, and then the fruit and vegetable taste, actually tastes better to you only because it's like that's all you've been receiving. I think I've done it for a total of 90 days at the most. I lost a significant amount of weight.
Mm.
And I think I might actually post that on one of my social media so people can see the gains that I actually took that I got from it. And so that's just to throw that out there for everybody.
Well, that's good. I know I was having a conversation with someone tonight, and we were discussing. I was saying that one of my biggest things that I did when I went to lose weight was I started to drink a lot more water. And what I mean when I say that is like I used to would, let's say if it was Kool-Aid or soda in the house, then I'm drinking that with meals. When I'm just chilling, I'm drinking it or whatever. So the first minor step that I did was if I wasn't eating and I was thirsty, I just drink water. And I really think that in itself, that small change made me like water. And I'm trying to one day get to the point where I can drink water with most meals. I think that would help out a lot, but I'm not there yet. But one thing I will say about that juicing, that was tough to do because we did it in a rogue manner. It was cold turkey, no preparing for it. We just boom. It's time to go. No more meat, no more any of this, no more bad stuff. So while I was doing it, and when we had got past 10, 15, 20 days, and I would just be hungry, I did start to not juice, but what I would do, I'd get like a bag full of the sugar snap peas, and I would just eat those. And then even when we had stopped juicing, I still crave the juice every now and then. Like every now and then, my body craves the juice or craves some of the vegetables that are within the juice. And actually, juicing it made me step my game up and eat more vegetables in general. Once I came off of that, My sense of taste just was through the roof. Like now I can eat a lot of different things that I wouldn't or couldn't eat prior to juicing. So that's something that I definitely will take from that, as I was able to get myself together. Another point that you did jump on, I do want to piggyback on that about the Rob Kardashian Black China and the surgery talk. And I know some people are looking for the quick, fast way out. So they figure, hey, well, I'm a little too big. My insurance will pay for it. I'm going to go ahead and just, had a weight loss surgery. And I've actually had a friend that passed away from it. I've known a few people that have passed away from weight loss surgery. So, it's really not a simple way of doing it. And then when you do have the surgery, okay, now what are you going to do with all this extra skin? And I know I will say, like, I know some people personally that have done the surgery and they go out and they work out like crazy. And slowly but surely, it really starts to look good on them. But is the risk of losing your life that important to slim down, especially if you're not changing your eating habits? Because I do know some people that have had the surgery
Yep.
and a few years later, that belly's right back because you
Well,
never change your
wow.
eating habits.
Yep. And they still got to tuck their stomach in at night because you know what?
They sure
That
do.
bitch ain't going nowhere because your ass still eating all that bullshit. I ain't wanted to talk, but hey, I'm just calling it how it is. I mean,
Yeah,
but truthfully, when you mention the water, the thing is making sure we drink water that's alkaline. Like I found a couple ones that are alkaline. Even I found a cheap one that's alkaline. You'll be surprised. I watched some. I need to do it for myself just to make sure it's done right. But I'm almost for certain that they done it right. Zephyr Hills is actually alkaline.
I haven't even seen Zephyr Hills in a long time.
Right, and I think that's the Florida thing. And I think our tap water is more alkaline than a lot of even though we got the dirty ass water here in Jacksonville. It's alkaline though. So that's one thing to throw out there. So if you ain't got it like that, if you buy a water filtration thing like a Brita or something like that, your Florida tap water is alkaline. So that's just something to throw out there. Um, getting your body alkaline is very important.
Yeah. And you know what? The good thing also, like I've watched too on some different stuff um, on YouTube, just across the internet, and I did see that Evian water, which I mean, it's not cheap,
Yeah,
but it's there.
yeah,
Evian water, it has a lot of alkaline in it.
yeah,
Fiji tests
yep.
pretty good, and actually, if you really want to be on the cheap side, if you get the spring water from Walmart, is actually not a bad water.
I
It's
I don't I ain't know about that one.
Yeah, it's one that I've seen tested a few times, and it does test. I mean, it doesn't test great. It's more towards the middle of the pack, but it is on the better side. So,
Hey,
yeah, I mean, and it works, and that's all that we drink in this household is, the Walmart water, and we'll buy, packs of Fiji, Evian, or what is it, Pierre, the sparkling water.
yeah, that
Well,
shit's disgusting.
yeah, it is, but I mean, it's supposed to be really good for you and really good for your
Yeah,
stomach. So,
and
you do what you got to do.
I throw this out there too, just in case you're in an area that really, or you just in a spot where you don't want to spend that type of money. If you go to, I know Walmart has them, and I know Whole Foods Market has them. If you buy key limes, I'm not talking about your normal limes, key limes, the little miniature limes that has seeds in them. That's the major key to it. The lime has to have seeds in them. But key limes, if you take three of the little small key limes every morning and you take the juice out of them and you drink that, and at night you're actually alkalining your body um, very well, and you'll start to feel different as long as you're doing a nice diet where you're not taking in a lot of sugar. You will feel some differences in your body in a couple weeks, and also you'll start to feel more energy. It'll give you a lot of energy, definitely if you're doing the right thing. So if you're not able to get some hell of a type water, get your key limes, juice that. You can get the little handheld juicer thing, to squeeze lemons or limes. and you can do that, and that'll definitely get your alkaline up.
Well, hey, that's what we here for, man, to spread that good gospel, because yeah, that'll work.
Yep. I'm just trying to help you out a lot, man. I'm struggling still, you know what I'm saying? And shit, if y'all hear this, man, y'all check on us with this shit, man. It's a fight. It's a big fight, man. I mean, I wish I could pull up to a healthy spot, like a fast food spot. Here I go making somebody rich again. Well, I wish I had like it was some healthy fast food spots. I don't need another healthy grocery store. I need a place where if I'm driving past that bitch like a McDonald's, I can pull up and get me some juice and I can go. Or I can get that salad and I can go. Or I can get some veggies or some fruit. Like, man, it'd be dope if they had like a drive through like that.
And when I say salad, or when you say salad, what I mean, because once again, I've had this discussion with a lot of people, and what they'll do is they'll be so quick to run the Zaxby's and get a salad.
With them goddamn
Or,
croutons in it.
yeah, well, they don't even have croutons at Zaxby's. They can eat a big Texas toast.
Yeah, that too.
Um,
But they give
but
them big old ass croutons.
yeah, and that junk, it's just wild, and it's just like I remember one day, this was a few years ago, I had just randomly looked it up online, and some of them actually salads are tipping 1,000 calories because of the fried chicken, the cheese, the croutons, the bread, just all that stuff. So you have to really, like, you may think that you're doing good, but you have to really, really know what you're doing when you do the salad stuff too. Like, I know you said pull up and get a healthy salad. Like, one thing that I learned was you could do the grilled chicken, no cheese, and some raspberry vinaigrette or any
Yeah,
type of
lemon
vinaigrette.
vinaigrette.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
lemon vinaigrette. You could do like a lot of different things and get your salad and actually be healthy. But don't pile it up with blue cheese, which I'm guilty of, or ranch, or what's the worst one is Italian or French? I forget. I think it's
Caesar.
French. Is Caesar's the worst?
I think Caesar's one of the worst ones. That bitch got eggs in it. It got all types of shit.
Yeah, eggs, fish, all kind of stuff. But I mean, it's some
Yeah.
it's some ones that are really bad out there, and we just have to really just understand health, and that's what we're really trying to get to today. Is just really understand your health and the things that you can do to make yourself better.
Cause
So,
we dying at a fast rate out here, man.
too fast, man, like really too fast. I mean, we're going out here every day and basically just struggling. Another thing that I could tell people to do, and I was reading this, and they said, if you just add 15 minutes of walking to your day, like you could just, when you go to work, park at the end of the parking lot. When you go to the grocery store, park at the end of the grocery store. Make those extra laps. Don't take a shortcut cut, and all that can improve you like drastically. Take up a yoga class here and there, take a walk around your neighborhood, just once a day. Those little things can also make a difference as well. They can burn those few extra calories.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like to say, another thing that we don't do, which this is not all about blood pressure, but find you some stuff that's going to relieve some stress for you. Now, I know some people, of course, say, sex or reading a book or
You know
driving
it.
a car fast. Whatever it is, it's your advice. Do it to relieve some stress.
Hop in that
Don't.
John John.
Yeah, you need to go on and mash some potatoes and stir them grits if you have to.
You know what I'm saying? Go and crank it up in that room here.
Hey, you sure do. And I mean, I'm just gonna go on and get ready to close it out. So, study what your body needs. I know too many black people that run around and say, "Oh man, I don't eat vegetables," and blah 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 blah. Man, sometimes you have to sit there and you have to put things in your body because it's what your body needs. Like, and in every situation, you're not getting 5-star meals. You're not going to get your favorite meal all the time. Sometimes, hey, take a stalk of broccoli and cook it up and eat it without the cheese, or do whatever you got to do. But the word that I want to leave y'all with, the quote that I want to leave y'all with, is something that my mom gave me a long time ago. And she said, "Son, sometimes you have to eat to survive, not to not survive to eat." And she was saying, that it's a lot of people that do that think, hey, well, every meal has to be something I love or something sweet or whatever. Nah, sometimes you sit down and eat you some nuts and trail mix, no homo, and all that stuff, and get you some green vegetables real quick. I mean, you could season most of that stuff up to where you'll like it. Just do it.
Just get off your ass, man. Cause we dying at a fast rate. Just to put that out there as his closure. R.I.P. to my uncle who just recently passed away 2 days ago.
I rest
And
in
he
peace.
and he was only in his mid 40s. So that's to
Dang.
tell you right there, like where we're at with it. And lost a coworker who was 27 years old. So it's not a game. And
Nah,
every
it's not.
time I hear this, it just made me say, "Hey, get off your ass, man, and do the right thing. Grill that chicken every now and then. Take some of that bread away. Get rid of the sugar. Even if you're gonna do anything, if you're not gonna do everything we was talking about juicing, you can take away the bread. You can take away the sugars. You can take away the salts. That's easy. That's the easiest thing you can ever do. Pastas, easy.
Hmm.
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth, and it's all about taking ownership of your life. And speaking of taking ownership, that is going to bring us to our next topic: is taking ownership of your life. I'm gonna go ahead and kick the rock over to you.
Man, all right, I'll take that mic and talk about this subject. Yeah, let's get into that, man. I really couldn't wait to talk about this. I was just actually approached. What I even approached, I was informed today that I was a dream killer. So I was told that I kill people's dreams,
What?
and what made me think about, yeah, I'm a dream killer, man, and that's crazy. I felt like I laughed at it really because I thought about it. At what point do you take ownership of your shit? And what I mean by that is when does it stop being somebody else's fault? If you a grown ass man or woman, and say if you're trying to have accomplishments in life or you're working with other people, at the end of the day, when you look in that mirror, only person you have to blame is yourself. How hard are you really working at things that you really want to make happen? You can't always sit back and have someone to blame when shit does not go your way. Um, I've been working with this whole management thing for quite some time, and honestly, I'm satisfied with what I've done. Um, and it's not just management; it's also development.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I have to work hard to get them to be their self at their highest level. And I don't point the finger at no one aside from myself when it comes down to the outcome of anything. But in the return, it goes for the same. It goes the same for the person that you're working with. They have to assume responsibility in life about anything. When you're little, oh, my mom would let me do this, or my dad stopped me from that. He said I couldn't do this. But when you become an adult, you can make that decision now. So what's stopping you? Who's stopping you? And a lot of times people want to always blame someone else for what's not happening instead of getting in that mirror and pointing at themselves and say, you need to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Taking control of your life is not an easy thing. We all may have grown up with different things we were told, and we have to unlearn some shit sometimes. Like, and it's not to say that what we was taught from our elders all bad, but sometimes if you're trying to take a different path, you can't take the same approach. You can't blame somebody for it. You have to just say, all right, they did the best they could, but it's on me if I really want to get there. How do I get there? Not, oh, well, this person did this, or they're pointing the finger. You got your arms folded and you want to look to blame someone else. When you want to take ownership of your life, it's like you have to just say fuck it and get started.
Mm.
And so I've actually been working on things for years. I'm not bitching and complaining to nobody. I'm not mad at anybody. Only person I get mad at is myself. If I go lay my ass down instead of working on what I need to work on, I got to be mad at me in the morning. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think we hear too many people too often want to point the finger at somebody for some reason something ain't happening. I understand some situations you might have to depend on somebody else. But once you realize something ain't going right, and then you continuously putting yourself in the same situation, you still got yourself to blame. But I want to go ahead and kick it to you, and I'll be back on this situation. I just want to let you go ahead and tag in on this.
Well, definitely, I do agree that in life you do have to take control of your own destiny. It's kind of what I'm kind of getting from this. And I do think that it's true because I think that oftentimes something will go on in your life or you'll just get stuck in a rut. And it could be like little things that you can manage or little things that you can change to better your situation. I'll give an example like for myself. When I first started on my podcast journey, um, with the current podcast group I'm with now, the Committee Podcast, and now of course I've um, came into this one as well, the Daily Bread Culture. But when I first got in it, I was looking at it like, okay, do I really want? Is this something I would want to do? Is this something I'd be good at? Yada yada yada, blah blah blah. And it was like the more and more I really thought about it, I'm like, okay, well, this podcast thing can lead me to make intricate relationships with people. It can lead me to meet people, to express the way that I feel about certain things, to make money, to gain fame, ultimately, just depending on where you want to take it. And so it was up to me to look at it from the perspective of, hey, this is something I can do and be good at. And I took it and I ran with it. I mean, I think that I'm pretty good. I'm an up and coming podcaster with a couple different podcasts to in my hat so far. But it's kind of like that's just a small detail of something that you can do. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying that a well-known singer is kind of illiterate in a way. And I was like, how in the hell can you be a millionaire approaching $500,000 and still be illiterate? It just didn't make sense. And then when I sat there and thought about it, it does make sense because oftentimes we as people get stuck in our ways and refuse to change and evolve. Like life is all about evolution. And so when I say that, I'm not saying that you should morph into something different, but maybe you can say, hey, you know what? I may not be as smart as what I could be. Let me pick up a dictionary. Let me read. Let me gather some words. Let me gather some additional knowledge. Let me read books. Let me do different things. Let me focus on my health. Just whatever it is that you want to do. And it's like you can improve those things slowly but surely. And who knows, a year later, you could be a different person just by taking a little bit of time and investing it in yourself and also taking ownership of yourself. And that's one thing that I think that a lot of people don't do is take ownership for themselves and take ownership for their actions. So that'll be my little rant on the soapbox for right now on the issue. I just hope that people, you find something like there's some things that I want to do. And it's like when I get something in my mind, I force myself to become obsessed with it. So let's say if I wanted to be an author, I mean, and I was going to write like a series of stories on, um, we'll just say like something like vampires. Then what I'm going to do, even though they don't exist, I'm going to look up, I'm going to read everything I can about this. I'm going to become engulfed in this type of work. I'm going to read dictionaries. I'm going to prepare myself. I'm going to do rough drafts. I'm going to put the time in. I'm going to put the effort in to get better at the craft before I even release the stuff. And then that way, even if it doesn't take off like I wanted it to, I still know that I put my all into it. And hey, there'll be some people that'll like what you do, and of course some people that don't. But I mean, it's all about that preparation. You see something you like, you prepare, and you get to it.
And
So any
just
more? Yeah, I was about to kick it back over to you. So any
yeah,
additional thoughts?
I felt that coming. See, we still working on that chemistry, man. See, that's what people understand. Y'all gonna come along this journey with us. So
Yes.
I kind of we want to hear from y'all. So just continue to ride this wave with us, man. It's not even a wave, man. just fly with us, man, and stay along with on the track with us, because we gonna make this thing right. But just to kind of piggyback on what you were saying, I like some of the things I got to work on. Like, see, that's the thing when you want to get past some stuff, you can't be ashamed to admit where you got to get better at. Like, I got to get more consistent. I got to be more consistent. Like, period. Like, that's one of the things that's been killing me. Is my consistency, like getting up every day, repeating the same thing over and over again, and continue to grow with whatever it is I'm working on. And also laziness. That shit kills me. Like, yeah, I'm a father too. Da, 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 da. I work, blah 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 blah. I gotta clean up, but it's just no excuse. I gotta still make this shit happen. Because if I want to see changes in what's going on currently, I gotta make it happen. I gotta do it, tired or not. Because everybody that's the greatest at whatever they're doing, they're putting extra work in when everybody else is like sleep. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you study some of your favorite people in the world that did something at the best of their abilities, they were working when everybody else was asleep. They was in the gym while everybody was at home, or whatever the case may be. And so I'm pretty sure whoever the top podcasters are, they're probably already planning their next show right now. So, if I'm going to be the best social media marketer, I want to be the Michael Jordan of social media marketing. I got to be working when everybody else is sleeping. I got to be thinking of some new ways of making things happen, and continue to stay ahead of the curve when everybody else is asleep. And that's one of the things that I got to work on. And so I'm telling y'all because I want y'all to stay on my ass about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want y'all to be like, man, I remember when this motherfucker was just getting started. He had two nickels to rub together. But now look out. Because we in this together, just to be honest with you. And if it's something that y'all working on that you struggle with, put it out there. Because sometimes getting it off your chest is one of the best feelings ever. Because I just finally got something off my chest, and I feel good as a motherfucker about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope some returns come from it. You know what I'm saying? Because now that I was able to say it, I can put it behind me.
Amen to that. You definitely can put it behind you. So, word to the wise. You know, we ain't often dream killing. Maybe we giving you that little extra bit that you need of focus and motivation to get where you need to get because we believe in you. And that could truly be the thing. Maybe you're my cousin, maybe you're my brother, maybe you're my sister, maybe you're my family member, maybe you're my friend, or maybe I see the focus in you. I see that you can do better, and I use my words in order to get you to do better. And I mean, that's something that happens. That's something definitely happens. I have people in my life now that can be a little harsh with me sometimes, but I need them in my life because sometimes I need that to get me motivated, to get me to push myself to do this. And I'll share something with you guys really quick. This is just going to be something a little bit more personal. Like, even when we came about the idea to start this podcast, to myself secretly, I was putting a lot of pressure on myself because I know what I want in a podcast, and I know what we're capable of. And I was just saying, can I continue to be focused about it? Can I continue to love what I do? And can I put in the hours to do it? And I will say that so far within this show, I am liking the direction of where it goes. I mean, whenever there are topics that are sent out, I put in the work. I do what I need to do to get better. And, that was a concern that I had earlier. I was like, okay, well, how am I going to be able to manage being on two different podcasts, not letting them, kind of butt heads with one another? And how can I evolve as a podcaster? And I took the challenge that, hey, I want to be better. And that's what I achieve. That's what I plan on achieving pretty soon, is to continue to push forward with this. So that was my quick take on that.
Definitely, man. And again, this is just one of them things I think everybody kind of has. Like, where it's like, I know damn well I'm not looking to. Right now, I'm currently on a leave. Everybody, I work for a well-known corporation. They get no love here. Um,
Nope.
Now I'm currently out with pay because we had a baby recently, and I have no plans on wanting to go back. And so I'm working my ass off to try to make sure of it. And so y'all keep checking in to make sure I ain't go back. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm really trying to do these things, and I got a lot of stuff that I'm really good at, and I just gotta take it all one thing at a time. Working to be a great social media marketer, doing classes home, and juggling the new baby, and then also the toddler. So we, no excuses here. But just been trying to figure out that way, man, to get to that million and then get to that billion.
Amen on that one. Because we're going to chase this paper to the end. But this is my way of signing off. I am Adolphus underscore Savage on Twitter, Instagram. On Facebook, I'm Adolphus Savage without the E. You can catch me any Monday dropping on the new committee podcast. You can reach them at committee pod on uh, committee pod on Twitter. And of course, you can always reach us at the Daily Bread Culture on Twitter. We're Daily Bread Cult, and we appreciate y'all being in this cult. I'm Adolphus Savage signing out.
All right, and you know me as Ron, and on Instagram, classic 904 CLASSICK 904 Instagram, Facebook Ron Howard II, and yeah, you can find me here on the podcast, and then pretty soon the Dream Killer YouTube series will be coming. I always take a negative thing and try to make it into a positive. So shout out to the person who called me the Dream Killer. I'm out.
Damn. All right, y'all. We out.